Hello everybody, I've just finished doing some testing with a new shaft from TPT, which is quite revolutionary. It's a shaft called Nitro, and I thought I'd share some of the results with you today. So let's get stuck in. So here we are on my Gears system, and I'd like to show you how this is the 21 high, i.e. the 40 gram shaft. And I wanted to show you how this shaft reacts to how I swing it. So right off the bat we can see, if I just start moving this back, there's going to be some seriously big lead deflection going on. You can see how this shaft is moving in this way now. The head is actually basically slowing the shaft down, or creating this lead deflection here. So me moving back, the weight of the head is creating this movement to the shaft, and this is actually almost up to 130 millimeters of lead deflection at this time, which is absolutely huge. Generally speaking, I'll be looking at something around 50 for a traditional shaft. I'll take this all the way up to the top now, and then we're going to have one of the other axes. So you've got lead and lag deflection, and this is what we're going to be calling droop. So this is a negative droop, which is the head going towards the ground at the top of the backswing. And yet again, you can see how soft this shaft is, and this is moving down to almost 134 millimeters, which is yet again a huge amount of droop, at least the double, if not the triple of what I usually get at this moment in time. Let's keep going a little bit further now. I'm just going to get sort of into the early downswing and see how much I can load into this shaft and generate some lag deflection. So I take it down to, I think it's around this area here. We're up to 39 millimeters of lag deflection now, i.e. the head is behind the shaft this time. And this is basically loading energy into the shaft for it to be released further down. Now if I could get this now going back into positive, which is going to happen at impact, you can see now I'm back into positive or lead deflection, now 42 millimeters the other direction. So basically all this energy that was stored up here has now been released down here. And this is exactly what the long drivers are looking at, and trying to get as much energy back into the ball via the shaft, obviously. Now there are some inconvenience to this, and generally speaking, when you get a shaft moving all over the place like that, it tends to create a lot of dispersion. And in this case, it isn't actually what's happening. So I'll have a look at numbers here, only 3 degrees from the inside, 5 degrees up, and the face to path was only slightly closed. And this was pretty much the same sort of results I got with all the shots I hit with this shaft. So even though it was lots of deflection in the early part, lots of droop in the top of the part, top of the backswing, and a lot of lag deflection earlier on, followed by a lot of lead deflection of impact, it's actually quite stable. So this is really interesting for a shaft as much as light as this. Look at the third axis, so you've seen deflection and droop. Let's go down to the third one, which is we're going to call twist or torque. And this is a negative number we have now, a -9 number. So that basically means the shaft is torquing or twisting towards the target. But because there's so much torque on this shaft, the club head is not closing. Now if I was twisting that much with a shaft which had a much lower torque, the club face would probably be closed. But because there's more torque on this shaft, all the twisting I'm doing is actually delaying the closure rate of the club head. So I could swing this as fast as I like, and I doubt I'd hit it left, which for me is very interesting. Now if somebody was struggling with a slice, maybe they'll need something with a little less torque, and TPT definitely have that in this range, going from 40 grams up to 74 grams. I think it's from something like 5 degrees of torque down to 2.7, so there's lots of options in this range. Just a quick look at some of the ball data. What we're going to see straight away is obviously more ball speed with the 21 high. Actually tried the 21 high against the complete opposite, the 14 low. This is a 74 gram shaft with 275 CPM, so really complete opposite. This would be a more traditional good player's shaft. And definitely more ball speed with the lighter shaft. It's only a little bit higher actually, which is quite interesting to me. I mean, it's not that much higher in launch. We've got a little bit more spin, obviously, and the distance in the air was exactly the same. The only difference with the 14 low was actually the spin, really, which was going to be lowering the trajectory down with this, just having less spin. So, yet again, this is two complete opposites, but it's completely logical. I mean, if we were looking to generate more speed and more ball speed, we'd definitely be going for this lighter shaft. But if we wanted to bring the trajectory down and bring the spin down, you'd definitely be going for the heavier version and the stiffer version. But they have so many things in between these two opposites as well. So there's definitely something for everybody in this Nitro range. So if we dig a little bit deeper, you can see why there was more ball speed, and it was just basically related to clubhead speed. So obviously swinging at 3 miles an hour is going to help things along. So the lighter shaft and the softer shaft was easier to swing, so I could generate more clubhead speed and then more ball speed. The dynamic loft obviously a little bit higher with the lighter and softer shaft, but not that much. Only 2 degrees of dynamic loft here, so really not that much of a change in dynamic loft. Dynamic lie is quite interesting as well. With the lie being flatter with the softer shaft, just more droop, flattening the club down, which is going to slow the closure rate down. That's why the ball was slightly more to the right. One of the reasons why the ball was more to the right, the initial direction was more to the right, and pretty much the same with path and angular attack. But with both very good impact points, with all the shots played, and just easier to swing it with the lighter shaft. So I mean, definitely something very interesting here with the lighter shaft, and you can understand why the long drivers are playing with these types of shafts now. So lots of positive things to say about these shafts, these Nitro shafts from TPT. And I think the main takeaway is that this could be quite revolutionary. You're going to be able to go to a lighter and a softer shaft maybe than you're used to. And certainly we're not going to be fitting just by clubhead speed. This is going to be more about feel and the trajectory you're going to be able to produce with it. But being lighter and softer, you should be able to swing it faster, and that should increase ball speed without sacrificing dispersion. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you soon for some more videos in the near future.